let's talk about cloud computing characteristics, right? So, what are the main important characteristics of cloud computing? So, we have basically 5 standard cloud computing characteristics. First one, on demand self service, right? On demand, whenever you need a service, okay, whenever you need some additional services, you can get it anytime, whatever amount of resources you need, and whenever you need it, it will be available for us. That is the first important characteristic of cloud computing, right? Why we are calling it self service? Because we can get it by ourselves. You need not depend on anybody, you need not contact anyone. Okay, you are now well aware of these things, right? If you need to access a storage service in this platform, you need not ask anyone. You can any point of time log into your platform, get the resources, load your data. You can load as much as data you need it, right? Self service, because you are creating it yourself. You want to deploy your application, you are doing it by yourself. You are not asking anyone else. It is freely available. You use it and pay the rental, right? So, on demand you can get the services any point of time. You yourself can get the services without contacting any provider. You yourself can use cloud computing and run your business. Broad network access, right? So, it is network access, it is accessible through internet. All the cloud services are accessible through internet. Okay, wherever you are, if you have internet, you can access them, right? That is the second point. The third is resource pooling. Okay, they maintain a lot of resources. Okay, so you want RAM, you want storage, that resource pooling is done by them. You as much of storage you want, they have it. They will provide to you because they do the resource pooling. They maintain the infrastructure with their in the cloud data center. They maintain some data centers where they have lot of resources available, and when one consumer is requesting, they will adjust it from others and provide. When it is in idle state, the storage will be assigned to somebody else. When he is demanding, where somebody else is not using, that will be assigned to him, right? That way they maintain a huge resource shared resource pool, which is strength of the cloud computing. That's why whenever you want, whatever amount of storage you want, they are providing it, right? Then rapid elasticity. What is this elasticity? We are talking about two terms here, right? Scalability and elasticity. They look similar, they do actually the same thing. What is this difference between scalability and elasticity, right? Rapid elasticity means when there is a load, see, let's say number of requests coming to my application is fluctuating like this, and suddenly there is a spike in the number of requests. Suddenly it is there and it is going down, there are no requests at all, it is stable, right? So, sudden spikes are there, then immediately when there is a spike, automatically dynamically adjusting the resources is elasticity. The cloud provider, you see, rapid elasticity means when there is a sudden spike in the number of requests, they are automatically dynamically adjusting the resources. That is possible by the cloud. Scalability means this is on long run, this is for short duration. Scalability, we talk about long run, means scalability refers to when you are trying to let's say after 6 months there is increase in the number of users. Earlier nobody was visiting a particular website, now slowly the demand has increased, number of users are increasing, right? Day by day the number of users are increasing. So, the ability to adjust the load, to ability to handle the load when it is increasing every day, there is no decrease here. Scalability will focus, we say scalability when the number of users are increasing. Okay, if there is fluctuations, we call it as elasticity, right? So, scalability refers to the ability, it refers to the ability to adjust, okay, when there is demand in the load or the number of users, right? So, scalability is the system's capacity to handle growing amount of work or the users without compromising the performance. Whereas elasticity, it refers to the ability of a system to dynamically adjust its resource allocation. Okay, dynamically adjusting, right? That is elasticity. Okay, basically scalability also is there. It should be one of the components, but the focus is more on the elasticity. Then the final one is measured service. Everything is measured properly based on your usage only. We are charging, right? So every service is nicely measured, it is billed properly based on your usage. When you are using it, only for that you need to pay, otherwise you need not pay, right? So that is about these five important cloud computing characteristics. Then the business drivers for adopting cloud computing. Why you have to adopt cloud computing? What is the motivating factor? Okay, or why someone can move to cloud computing, or otherwise what are the benefits of cloud computing, right? The first one is cost reduction. You need not set up an infrastructure. You are starting a business, you want to set up some infrastructure, you need not do that. You need some infrastructure, you need not set up it. You can blindly go for cloud. You yourself are setting it up, you need some money, you need some capital, investment is required. You need not need that. Your cost will be completely less if you are using cloud computing, because everything they are providing, you just need to pay the rental. So the huge cost of setting up or starting a business is reduced. Then obviously scalability and elasticity, right? We understood what is the difference between scalability and elasticity. These two are very important features of cloud computing. Then faster time to market. Let's say you got a project and your client wants you to do this project quickly, right? You need not spend time on the infrastructure. You need not spend time on installing or configuring. You can directly log into the cloud, start doing the code, writing the code and deliver the product. So by this way, you are bringing the product to the market very fast, right? Then business agility and flexibility. Business agility means speed. So I am able to do everything in speed. Okay, because when I'm using the cloud resources, when I'm using cloud resources, it is very easy, and setting up is very easy, and I can do it very fast, and it is more flexible, right? Cloud is flexible enough for you. You can remove something, you can activate something, everything can be done very easily without any dependency. Improved resource utilization, right? If I set up one infrastructure, if I do that setup, it will take more time for me. I may not be using the full resources. More than 90% of the high-end machines are idle state only, nobody is using them. But that problem will not be there, because cloud computing effectively utilizes the resources. And the final one is high availability, right? The cloud services are fully available. We know that the 99.9996, this is the availability of cloud, right? So cloud are highly available, so we can blindly depend on them, right? So these are few important motivating or motivation factors or business drivers for adopting cloud computing. So this is about the cloud computing characteristics and business drivers for adopting the cloud computing.